I'm Margaret Chen, 81 years old. For 30 years, I worked 2 jobs to put my son Daniel through medical school, paid his student loans, bought his first house, and funded his entire career. When I got sick with cancer, Daniel dumped me in the cheapest nursing home he could find and disappeared. He told the staff I had no family and stopped visiting. What Daniel didn't know was that I'd been secretly recording our conversations for years and had proof he'd promised to care for me in exchange for all that money. I sued him for every penny I'd given him, plus damages. This is how I bankrupted my ungrateful doctor's son and left him with nothing. Subscribe now. Hit that bell so you never miss revenge stories like this. My name is Margaret Chen, and I'm 81 years old. This story starts 30 years ago, when my husband died suddenly, leaving me a widow at 51 with a 13-year-old son named Daniel. After my husband's death, I worked 2 jobs, one as a bank teller during the day and another cleaning offices at night. Every penny I saved went toward Daniel's future. I wanted him to become a doctor. I wanted him to have the life my husband and I never could afford. Daniel was smart, got into a good university, then medical school. The tuition was enormous, over $200,000 total. I took out loans, worked overtime, sold our house, and moved into a tiny apartment. I gave Daniel everything. When Daniel graduated as a surgeon at age 29, he made me a promise. Mom, you sacrificed everything for me. When you're old and need help, I'll take care of you. You'll live with me, and I'll make sure you have the best care. You'll never worry about money or being alone. I believed him. What mother wouldn't believe her son? I continued helping Daniel even after he became a successful surgeon. I gave him $50,000 for his down payment on a house. I gave him another $75,000 when he started his private practice. I gave him $30,000 for his wedding. Over 30 years, I'd given Daniel over $800,000. My entire life savings, my retirement, everything. Daniel's career took off. He became a wealthy orthopedic surgeon earning over $500,000 a year. He had a mansion, luxury cars, expensive vacations. I still lived in my tiny apartment on Social Security. But I wasn't worried. Daniel had promised to care for me. Then 2 years ago, at 79, I was diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer. The treatment was brutal. Chemotherapy, radiation, surgery. I couldn't live alone anymore. I called Daniel. Son, I need help. The cancer treatment is too much. Can I move in with you like you promised? Daniel's response shocked me. Mom, that's not convenient right now. Sarah and I have our routine. The kids are busy with school. I'll find you a nice facility. A facility? Daniel, you promised I could live with you. Things change, Mom. I'll find somewhere good. Daniel found the cheapest nursing home in the state, Sunnydale Retirement Center. It was understaffed, smelled terrible, and had a 1-star rating. The monthly cost was $3,000, which Daniel paid, but he never visited. The staff at Sunnydale treated me like I had no family. When I mentioned my son, the doctor, they didn't believe me. Sure, honey. Everyone here has a rich family who never visits. Daniel stopped answering my calls. When I finally reached him, he said, Mom, I'm busy. You're being taken care of. What more do you want? I want what you promised. You said you'd care for me. I am caring for you. You have a place to live. Daniel, I gave you everything. Over $800,000. I worked 2 jobs for 30 years. I sold my house. I gave you my entire life. That was your choice, Mom. I didn't ask you to do that. I was devastated. My son, the son I'd sacrificed everything for, had abandoned me in a horrible nursing home and refused to honor his promise. But I wasn't helpless. For the last 15 years, ever since Daniel became financially successful, I'd been recording our conversations. I did this because I noticed Daniel becoming more distant, more focused on money, less caring. I wanted proof of his promises. I had recordings of Daniel saying, Mom, you'll live with me when you're old. I promise. I had texts where he wrote, You took care of me, I'll take care of you. I had emails confirming every dollar I'd given him and his promises to repay me with care. I contacted a lawyer named Patricia Gomez who specialized in elder law. I showed her everything, the recordings, the texts, the bank records showing $847,000 I'd given Daniel over 30 years. Margaret, Your son made contractual promises to care for you in exchange for financial support. He breached those promises. We can sue him. Can we win with this evidence? Absolutely. Patricia filed a lawsuit against Daniel for $847,000, every penny I'd given him, plus damages for breach of contract, elder abandonment, and emotional distress. Daniel was served papers at his medical practice. He called me, furious. "Mom, are you insane? You're suing me? You promised to care for me, Daniel. You took my money and abandoned me. I put you in a facility. I'm paying for it. You put me in the worst facility in the state and disappeared. You promised I'd live with you. You broke that promise. No court will side with you." That money was a gift. A gift with conditions, Daniel. Conditions you agreed to and broke. See you in court. The trial happened 6 months later. The courtroom was packed. Daniel showed up in an expensive suit with his high-priced lawyer, thinking he'd easily win against his elderly mother. Patricia presented the evidence. She played recordings of Daniel promising to care for me. She showed texts and emails confirming those promises. She presented bank records showing $847,000 transferred from my accounts to Daniel's over 30 years. Your Honor, Margaret Chen sacrificed everything for her son. She worked 2 jobs for 30 years. She gave him her life savings, her home equity, her retirement. In exchange, Daniel explicitly promised to care for her when she was elderly. He broke that promise and abandoned her in a substandard facility while living in luxury. Daniel's lawyer argued that my gifts were unconditional and Daniel owed me nothing, but Patricia destroyed that argument. Your Honor, these weren't gifts. They were investments in a child with explicit agreements for future care. Daniel accepted every dollar knowing the condition, that he'd care for his mother when she needed help. He built his entire career on her sacrifice and then abandoned her. The judge reviewed the evidence, hours of recordings, dozens of texts and emails, bank records showing decades of financial support. "Mr. Chen," the judge said, "you made explicit promises to your mother in exchange for her financial support. She gave you everything she had. You accepted that support and built a successful career. When she needed you, you abandoned her in a substandard facility. This court finds you in breach of contract and liable for elder abandonment." The judge ordered Daniel to repay me $847,000 plus $300,000 in damages and emotional distress. Total judgment, $1.1 million. Daniel was ordered to pay immediately. If he refused, the court would seize his assets. Daniel tried to appeal, claiming the judgment was unfair. The appeals court upheld the decision. Mr. Chen made clear promises to his mother and accepted substantial financial support based on those promises. He is liable for breach of contract. Daniel had to liquidate investments, take loans, and sell property to pay the judgment. His credit was destroyed. His medical practice suffered because everyone in town heard about the doctor who abandoned his mother. I took the $1.1 million and moved into a luxury assisted living facility, the complete opposite of Sunnydale. I have a beautiful private apartment, gourmet meals, activities, friends, and excellent medical care. Daniel tried to contact me after the judgment, saying he wanted to reconcile. I refused. "Daniel, you showed me who you are. You're a man who takes everything and gives nothing. You don't want reconciliation. You want forgiveness so you feel better about yourself. I won't give you that." Daniel's wife, Sarah, divorced him 6 months after the judgment. She said she'd always suspected Daniel was selfish, and the lawsuit confirmed it. The divorce cost Daniel another $500,000 in settlement. Daniel, the surgeon who was once worth several $1,000,000, is now deeply in debt. He still practices medicine, but most of his income goes to paying off loans and obligations from the judgment and divorce. I'm 81 now, living comfortably in the best assisted living facility in the state. My cancer is in remission. I have friends, activities, and peace. People sometimes ask if I feel guilty about bankrupting my son. The answer is no. Daniel took everything I gave him and abandoned me when I needed him most. He broke explicit promises and treated me like garbage. The lawsuit wasn't revenge, it was justice. I worked 2 jobs for 30 years to give Daniel his medical career. He owes me everything he has, and the court agreed. Daniel thought being a successful doctor made him untouchable. He learned that contracts matter, promises matter, and mothers aren't helpless. I'm 81 years old. I'm a cancer survivor. I'm a mother who sacrificed everything for her son. And I'm a woman who fought back when her son betrayed her. Daniel thought my age and illness made me powerless. He learned that evidence, recordings, and a good lawyer make you very powerful. This is my story. This is my revenge. This is my justice. The end.